everyone, welcome back again to another episode of Beauty and Makeup on this channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Urban Decay slash Gwen Stefani collaboration palette. This is a palette that I've been really looking forward to. I was a little disappointed in how the shades looked together. I thought that they were really pale, didn't offer much depth, and didn't show much personality. And I mean, how many nude palettes do we really truly need? I did pick up the palette honestly for more of a collector's item, but when I did get the palette and played around with the shades, I noticed that I love them a lot more than I thought I was going to. There are 5 mattes in the palette, 3 metallic shades, 4 iridescent shade, which are kind of like a mixture of iridescence and iridescent sparkle. And then there is 1 pearl and 1 satin. So it does offer a mixture of different finishes, which ranges from your lightest baby nude color to a pop of the pink and the blue. But most importantly, or one of my favorite part of this palette, is that black that you're seeing right there. It is such a beautiful black. It is one of my favorite black of all time. It is the same black that is in the Naked 2 palette, which is probably my favorite naked palette from Urban Decay, but I would say that it does offer a mixture of textures. These are shades that you can use in the inner corners if you are someone that is, say, my complexion, on the brow bone, or to use to diffuse shades. I was a little taken aback because there aren't too many new warm shades in the palette, especially if you do want something to use in the crease like what I'm doing here. I didn't really know what to use. Her Anaheim is sort of like a muted light brownie, neutral brown, which I think would look amazing as a transition shade for someone that is, say, light to medium complexion. On my complexion, unfortunately, it would have been a little bit light, so I did ended up going in with Zone to be used as a transition shade. When you see the swatches of these eyeshadows, they do look patchy, especially the matte shades, but I will say that they work 1,000 times better when you actually use them on the lid with a brush than if you use them with your finger to swatch against bare skin. That is one of the things that did surprise me with this palette, is the fact that it blended so amazingly, so beautifully on the eyes. It doesn't take much to blend these shades out, and they blend within each other very well without looking muddy, without looking patchy at all. The shades to swatch, the matte shades, they feel extremely buttery in the palette. They actually do remind me of Anastasia's matte eyeshadows because they do have sort of like a satiny texture, matte, and then they have sort of like an ultra matte. The satin shade in this palette, which is the shade Skimp, it does come off almost sort of like a semi-matte, which is exactly what it is. And then you have the metallic shades, which are extremely pigmented. One of those is 1987, which I am using right now, which is sort of that yellowish gold. It is such a beautiful, all the shades here are pigmented. The only ones I did have trouble with are the ones that are classified as iridescence. These are a mixture of iridescent shades, but then they have like little chunks of glitters in it. The shades that do have that is number 1 Pop, which is it has chunks of glitter, which will work if you do have a base down, but will give you issues if you have nothing, or if you're swatching it on dry skin or not putting a base down first. The other shades are Harajuku, which is the pink shade, and Baby, which is sort of like a muted taupey-ish shade, which is in the second row. All in all, as I said, I did think this palette was going to be a disappointment, and I mainly picked it up because of the package, to be honest, but also because I grew up in the 90s and Gwen Stefani, the No Doubt band, was something that I grew up listening to. So for her to collaborate with, Urban Decay was just such a huge thing for me. Once again, get in the palette. Even though they do look random and neutral and so dull almost, the quality, I would definitely say, is beautiful. This is a palette that I'm definitely gonna hang on to, because at first I just wanted to see it for myself, and after getting the palette, I love it even more. I wish there was more artistic quality to it, because Gwen is such an edgy person. Even though her makeup is quite basic most of the time, she does do a light smoky eyes with a winged liner and her signature red lip. However, I was looking forward to that 90s Gwen, that was a little bit more out there, a little bit more experimental with her style, and I didn't really get that in this palette. Yes, the last row, the third row, is a little bit, plain on colors, but not necessarily as much as I would like it to be. So all in all, I did love the palette, do love the palette. You guys are seeing me using it here, and you are seeing that they do blend very, 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 very well on the eyes. For this look, I am going to be doing a glitter liner. I did have some requests for more holiday looks, so I am going to bump this up a little bit and do a glitter liner for you guys. And then the palette also comes with 4 bonus samples of some lipsticks that she will be releasing with Urban Decay, I think a little bit in December. I'm not sure on the date. If I do find it out, I'll leave it in the description box down below. But she is going to come out with some lipsticks in collaboration with Urban Decay as well. So you guys are going to be able to see me try on a couple of the lips. One of them is a red matte lip with this look, so it is going to make it look a little bit more holiday. Everything that I use will be in the description box down below. I hope you guys do enjoy this tutorial. If you guys have any questions or any other requests using this palette, which you are definitely going to see me using, because it's a palette that it's very, very useful. If you're someone that is, I would say, light to medium complexion, this is something that I could see being used every day. If you're someone that is of a medium to dark or even a deep dark complexion, these are shades that you can use as brow bone highlighters. You can definitely use this to smoke out. You know what? Anyone can use this palette because it offers enough variety of light to very dark shade for you to go from either a subtle look to a really nice dark smoky look. All in all, I would say was expecting it to be a little bit more experimental, a little bit more out there, a little bit more, if you know what I mean. As I said in the beginning, how much neutral eyeshadows do we really, really, really need? But the quality is what is selling me on this palette. Not so much the selection of the shades, but definitely the quality of the eyeshadows. The metallics use a base and you will be able to get them to pack on really well. But all the other shades, honestly, I was blown away by the quality, especially when used on the eyes. Okay guys, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up and leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of people are thinking the exact same thing about this palette, but I will say go out there, try it, experiment with it for yourself. And of course, with Sephora, you can return it if you really didn't like it, which was what, you know, I was initially thinking. But I've really grown to like this palette a lot more than I thought I was going to. So maybe that would be the same for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.